While you were counting panel gaps and watching the stock ticker, Tesla was quietly building something into the hardware of your car. Something dormant, something waiting for a single software update to wake it up. This isn't about a new model or a bigger battery pack. This is closer to an industrial chain reaction. And by the end of 2026, the car company you think you know may not exist in the same form anymore. In its place, a vertically integrated machine reaching for control over energy, labor, and physical reality itself. Tesla has quietly exposed 5 technologies that go far beyond cars, from a medical-grade radar system possibly already asleep in your bumper, to a manufacturing process that makes a traditional assembly line look prehistoric. This isn't a roadmap. For every other automaker on the planet, it might be closer to an extinction-level shift. So are you watching a car company or the opening moves of something closer to a global operating system? Let's get into the 5 technologies set to reshape 2026. If you want to stay ahead of this shift, hit subscribe. We're tracking it in real time. Let's start with something that already exists, right now, rolling off the line at Giga Texas, the Cybercab. Not a concept, not a render, a physical product already in early production, with continuous manufacturing targeted for April 2026, a date Musk has repeated publicly at least 3 times in the last 6 months. This isn't a normal car launch, though. Musk has been upfront that the initial ramp will be, in his own words, agonizingly slow, because almost every part and every process on this vehicle is new. By mid-2026, Tesla quietly walked that timeline back even further, telling shareholders it no longer expects to hit full volume production this year, pointing to battery cell supply, specifically the 4680 cell, as the bottleneck holding back the ramp. So the car exists, the factory is real, but the steep S-curve Musk promised, slow at first, then suddenly very fast, is arriving later than he told investors it would, as the factory works through a build method called unboxed manufacturing. Instead of one long line building the car sequentially from front to back, sub-assemblies are built in parallel and brought together at the end, a fundamentally different approach to how a car gets built. So what actually is the Cybercab? A purpose-built 2-seat autonomous vehicle, no steering wheel, no pedals, built for one job only, full self-driving, at a target price under $30,000. But the real disruption isn't the sale price, it's the cost per mile. Tesla is targeting an operating cost near 20 cents a mile, compared to $1 or more for a typical rideshare trip today. This isn't a play to compete with Uber on price. It's an attempt to make automated transport cheap enough that it stops being a luxury and starts being infrastructure. All of that, of course, still depends on regulatory approval from bodies like the NHTSA and on Tesla actually solving the production bottleneck it just admitted to. But the factory floor doesn't wait for permission. The first domino is already moving, just more slowly than promised. Here's the problem, though. The Cybercab is just a shell, an empty vessel. The real story, the piece that actually makes a Robotaxi fleet possible, is the brain behind it, full self-driving. And in 2026, FSD made its most important leap yet, the jump from supervised to unsupervised. For years, FSD has legally required an attentive human behind the wheel, hands ready, eyes up. That's supervised. Unsupervised means the car handles everything, no human required. In theory, you could sleep in the back seat. That's no longer a distant promise. On January 22, 2026, Tesla publicly pulled the safety monitor out of Robotaxi rides in Austin for the first time. Real paying passengers, no human in the car. By April, the service had expanded to Dallas and Houston as well. But it's worth being honest about the scale here. As of this year, the total unsupervised fleet across all 3 Texas cities sits at roughly 24 vehicles, not a mass rollout. On Tesla's own earnings call, Musk acknowledged that Robotaxi revenue won't be super material this year, though he's betting it becomes significant in 2027. The technology milestone is real, the widespread part is still ahead of it. What changed under the hood is the learning method itself. The old approach was rule-based, millions of lines of handwritten code. See a weird intersection? A programmer writes a rule for it. That approach is brittle by design. It breaks the moment reality doesn't match the rule. The newer approach is an end-to-end neural network. Engineers stop writing rules and start acting as teachers, feeding the system millions of clips of real driving and letting it learn behavior directly, the way a person learns by watching rather than memorizing a manual. Musk claims the current generation, AI-4, already exceeds human-level safety in specific conditions. The next generation AI-5 chip, the one meant to eventually carry unsupervised driving at real scale, has reportedly had its design finalized, though production is now targeted for 2027, and its first priority appears to be powering Optimus and Cybercab rather than the existing fleet. And this isn't confined to the Cybercab. As the software improves, updates roll out to the wider Tesla fleet already on the road. That's what unlocks the second layer of this plan, the Tesla network. The idea, by tapping a button, an owner could add their personal car to the Robotaxi fleet, turning a vehicle that sits parked 95% of the time into an income-generating asset instead of a depreciating one. The Cybercab lights the fire. The network is what's supposed to let it spread, though right now that spread is happening far more gradually than the original pitch suggested. If autonomous cars sound big, the next piece is where this stops being about transportation altogether. This is Optimus, Tesla's humanoid robot program, and Musk has called 2026 a critical year for pushing it out of the lab and onto a real factory floor. Here's what's actually confirmed, and it's a bigger deal than most people realize. Tesla ended production of the Model S and Model X in May 2026, closing out a 14-year run for the S and 11 years for the X, specifically to free up floor space at the Fremont factory. This wasn't a rumor. Tesla confirmed it directly, and by mid-2026, those old assembly lines were fully decommissioned, with Optimus production lines being installed in their place. Think about what that decision actually says. Tesla sacrificed two of its own legacy vehicle lines, real revenue-generating products, to make room for a robot that hasn't shipped to a single customer yet. That's not a hedge, that's a bet with the whole hand on the table. The hardware itself has made real progress, too. The Gen 3 hand system, 22 degrees of freedom, tactile sensors, enough dexterity in theory to use human tools rather than specialized robotic fixtures, was confirmed production-ready in February 2026, but the full V3 robot body, originally teased for an early 2026 debut, has slipped more than once. As of Tesla's most recent shareholder update, formal production on the new Fremont line still hadn't started, with the company only committing to later this year and declining to give a unit count or price. Early units are reportedly going to an internal training program rather than customers, so the manufacturing floor is being rebuilt for Optimus right now in real time, but the robot walking off that line in meaningful numbers is still a promise, not yet a delivered product. The same neural network architecture trained to read a road is being adapted to read a factory floor. That part of the thesis hasn't changed. Musk's long-term target remains a manufacturing cost near $20,000 per unit, aimed first at factories and eventually homes. So you've got the vehicle in the Cybercab, the mind in unsupervised FSD, and, still very much in progress, a body in Optimus. But none of it runs without power. And that brings us to the fourth and most guarded piece of this plan, what some are calling Tesla's AI independence push. For years, the entire AI industry has leaned on one supplier for compute, NVIDIA. That dependence is a bottleneck, and Tesla appears to be working to remove it on three fronts. First, in-house AI chips. Musk has said the design for the AI-5 chip is now stable, with AI-6 already in development and reportedly being built through a multi-billion-dollar deal with Samsung, targeting a new chip generation roughly every 9 to 12 months, a pace meant to outrun the rest of the market. Second, the Dojo supercomputer. After shelving the project in 2025, Musk confirmed in January 2026 that work on Dojo 3 has restarted now that the AI-5 chip design was finally stable enough to build around. This version intended to run on entirely in-house hardware, with no NVIDIA GPUs in the mix at all. He's also floated a stranger, longer-term idea, putting future Dojo compute in orbit, using Starship to deploy space-based data centers that could tap unlimited solar power and the natural cooling of space. Third, there's continued talk of an in-house chip fabrication plant aimed at reducing reliance on outside foundries like TSMC. Put together, the pattern is unmistakable. Tesla isn't just designing chips or writing software, it's trying to own the entire stack, end to end, building a moat that gets harder to cross every year it continues. Now for the piece that contradicts everything Musk said publicly for years, the quiet return of radar. Musk was, for a long time, the loudest voice for a vision-only approach, the argument that if humans drive with two eyes, a car should be able to drive with cameras alone. Tesla acted on that logic, stripping radar out of new vehicles starting in 2021. But FCC filings show that Tesla was quietly pursuing approval for a new high-resolution radar system operating in the 60 to 64 gigahertz range, a system capable of building a detailed picture of its surroundings, closer in capability to LiDAR than the older radar units it removed. Why keep that quiet? Cameras have real limits: glare, heavy fog, driving snow. Radar in that frequency band doesn't share those weaknesses. Combine both, and the two systems can cross-check each other, creating a layer of redundancy that neither achieves alone. This isn't Tesla admitting vision only was a mistake, it's Tesla layering a second sense on top of the first. And there's a real possibility this hardware is already sitting inside recently built cars, inactive, waiting on a future software update to switch it on. Put the 5 pieces next to each other and a single shape starts to appear, even with the timelines running behind Musk's own promises. The Cybercab is the vessel, now in early production but slower to scale than announced. Unsupervised FSD is the intelligence, now live on public roads but still a small fleet. Optimus is the body. The factory floor for it already exists, torn out of 2 discontinued Tesla models, even though the robot itself hasn't shipped yet. The AI independence push, custom chips, a rebuilt Dojo, in-house fabrication, is what's meant to remove Tesla's dependence on anyone else to keep scaling any of it. And the quiet return of radar is the safety net running underneath all of it, largely unannounced. Zoom out far enough, and the ongoing debate about quarterly EV sales looks like a distraction from the actual story. By this framing, Tesla in 2026 isn't really a car company anymore. The car business looks more like the funding mechanism that built the data and the factories for what comes next. What's actually being assembled is a bet on autonomous transport as a utility, and on intelligence itself becoming a manufactured, scalable product. Whether that bet pays out on Musk's original timeline is clearly still an open question. Almost every piece of it is running later than he first promised. But the pieces are no longer hypothetical. They're on a factory floor in Fremont, in an FCC filing, in a fleet of 22 cars already driving without a safety driver in the seat.